Hey friends, welcome and welcome back to my channel, a place where we talk all things beauty. So I'm coming to you with this hair. It is what it is. I haven't washed it for a couple of days. I have so much dry shampoo in it, so I will let it sit and do its thing. But I'm very excited. I'm also not wearing any makeup, and that's because we are gonna sit down and get ready together today. So I recently posted my PR haul and I have so many new goodies laying in front of me and I'm just so excited to play with all of them. Well, some of these I've already tried, so this is gonna be like a mix of first, second impressions and new-ish products. I have a little bit of everything, pretty much the whole face, and I'm really excited. So if you like, get ready with me. Don't forget to like, subscribe and hit that notification bell. But now let's play with new makeup. I want to start by prepping my skin and specifically using this sunscreen. This is from Anua. This is their new Zero Cast Moisturizing Finish Sunscreen SPF 50. I've actually went for a little walk this morning with my son and I've already put my sunscreen on, but it's about 2 p.m. right now, so it's definitely time to reapply. So this is actually perfect, but it says that it's a lightweight everyday sunscreen with broad spectrum SPF 50 formulated to leave no white cast or greasy residue. It's supposed to be water resistant, which I love because summer is coming, pool season is upon us. It's low irritation, yay, sensitive skin friendly and non-comedogenic, and it's also $18. Love that affordable price. Another really cool feature is that they designed this cap to give you the perfect amount of sunscreen to avoid unnecessary waste. I think this is absolutely incredible. You know, some people don't know the right amount of sunscreen to put, and this is just a perfect way to know exactly how much you should put on. So let's actually do that. So this is the amount that I have, so let's start applying it. This is a chemical sunscreen and it promises to be white cast free. Let's see if that's the case. Right off the bat, I actually love the way it blends in. It doesn't really have any smell, just like a regular ingredient smell. And this sunscreen actually contains hyaluronic acid, glycerin, panthenol and niacinamide, so we have some nice calming, brightening and skin barrier supporting ingredients, plus of course hydration from that hyaluronic acid. Oh wow, I really enjoy how hydrating it feels on the skin. Okay, I've used up almost all of it, so let me just go ahead, apply a little bit to my neck. Can't forget the neck. Alright, I think I'm done blending it out. I really love how it looks on the skin. It gives this beautiful dewy finish, but it doesn't feel greasy or sticky. Yeah, it feels really lightweight and hydrating on the skin. I love that there's no peeling. Yep, there's none. Hopefully it means that it will sit beautifully under makeup. Yeah, so far so good. Alright, that sunscreen was really lovely, but now let's move on and try the new foundation from Jen Iredale. This is their Skintuition SPF 30 Radiance Boosting Liquid Foundation. This foundation comes in 26 shades and they were so kind and sent 3 shades my way. We have 14 fair, 20 light and 24 light. I swatched them all and tried them on my cheek. I think my best shade match is 20 light. 14 fair leans a little bit too pink for me and 24 light leans a little bit too peachy, so I guess my best bet would be 20 light. So this foundation is on the pricier side. It's $56. It comes with 1 fluid ounce of product. It's described as lightweight, breathable, medium buildable coverage, radiant finish. Honestly, all of that sounds like a dream to me and my dry skin. This is also non-comedogenic, which means it doesn't contain heavy oil and we have pump packaging, always a plus. It has this SPF 30 protection from mineral sunscreen filter called zinc oxide. It's fragrance-free and is designed mostly for dry and mature skin. So let's use 1 pump, and this is what the texture looks like. It's not runny, it's quite creamy actually. I'm gonna use this little brush from Basma Beauty. I've been loving this one for my foundation. And I'm just gonna work the product into the brush and then, let me just see myself in the mirror, start applying the foundation. First of all, that shade match is so good. Just gonna apply foundation to this part of my face, just so that we can see how it looks like compared to the other side. Honestly, it takes seconds to blend this foundation out. It feels really lightweight and I love that it melts into your skin. Wow, that literally took 3 seconds to blend out, but I have nothing on this side of my face. And here we have the new foundation from Jen Ardell. I feel like it evened out my skin really nicely. I have some redness in the center of my face, and I feel like it got rid of it pretty nicely and just did a nice job overall evening out my skin tone. And I really enjoyed that glow it gives. You know how some foundations can look kind of chalky? You can see them sitting on top of your skin. This is not the case at all. You know what this one reminds me straight out of the gate? The Tower 28 Skin Tint. That one also has some SPF and skin-loving ingredients in it, but I feel like this foundation from Jen Ardell gives you a little bit more coverage, but they're in that same family. At least that's my first impression of it. But yeah, this is what the skin looks like. I'm gonna go ahead and use one more pump and apply it to the rest of my face. Alright, I think I'm done blending it out. This is what my skin looks like. I will say I still can see some redness peeking through, so to me this gives more light to medium coverage. I wouldn't say that it gives a solid medium coverage, but I really enjoy the glow and the fact that it doesn't really feel greasy or heavy on my skin whatsoever. Let me see if it transfers. Let's do a couple of taps. Yeah, it definitely transfers a little bit, but it's not sticky. It feels really lightweight. I really appreciate it because sometimes glowier foundations can feel a little heavy, a little greasy even sometimes, but I feel like you would definitely want to set this one with a good powder, especially if you're somebody who has oily skin. And a side note, foundation went on so nicely over this sunscreen. I don't see any weird spots or patchiness going on, so far so good. All right, I want to add a little bit of definition to my face before contouring, so I'm gonna use these from Moira Beauty. These are their new Stay Golden Cream Bronzer and Contours. They sent me 3 shades. I'm not gonna use the shade 250N just because I feel like it's a little bit too deep for my skin. I feel like it would be amazing for medium skin tone. And that leaves me with 2 shades. We have 150N, which is definitely more like a bronzy shade on me. It definitely leans more warm. And we have 200C, which looks a lot more ashier and cool toned in the pan. So I feel like it would be amazing for contouring. I don't really contour, but I still want to try this formula today, so we're doing it. These feel so smooth, buttery, and creamy when you swatch them, but they're not overly creamy. I like that they actually hold their shape in the pan. Now, I think it must be said that I'm a no pro at contouring at all, so don't repeat at home. I'm just gonna do a couple of dots to places where I want to bring in a little bit more of a shadow to my face. Maybe a tiny bit on my nose too. Or maybe a little bit under my lip. All right, that looks absolutely insane, but now I'm gonna go with the shade 150M, and I will place it a little bit over that contour shade we put on first, just to kind of add a little bit of warmth to my complexion. I'm gonna use my trusty Makeup by Mario F4 brush. I absolutely love this one. I was raving about this brush in my April favorites. I'm just gonna start blending these 2 shades together. Oh wow, it literally takes seconds to blend out. It's just so easy, and I love how creamy these are. And every time Moira somehow does it, these are only $10. How are they so affordable and so good? The labs that they work with are truly incredible. I love their products so much, but this is what it looks like on the skin. I feel like it added such a nice amount of warmth and a little bit of definition too. And honestly, I'm very impressed. They're very pigmented, yet they are very blendable. There was no skipping or patchiness. Honestly, so far so good. By the way, I'm an affiliate with Moira Beauty. I have a code with them. So if you ever wanted to try Moira and their amazing products, feel free to use my code to save some money. But now let's move on to the blush. This is from Milk Makeup. This is their new Cooling Water Jelly Tint. This one is in Freeze, and it's one of those that pH adapts to your skin. So their jelly tints went completely viral, mainly because of this fun, bouncy, squishy, cooling texture. So of course it makes sense for Milk Makeup to release new shades, and apparently the pH adaptive makeup trend is still going on, which, by the way, I'm not really a big fan of it. I don't know, I feel like all these pH adaptive things look pretty much the same on everyone. It's almost this bright pink or fuchsia pink. There can be a slight difference in undertone or depths, but overall, to me, it's like a one-trick pony. So Milk Makeup was so kind and they sent this little brush too. I've actually already tried this blush. That didn't go well for me because I've used too much. So this time, I know what I'm doing. This is how much I will use. Literally 1, 2. That's it. You don't need more. You have to wait 2 minutes for this one to fully develop. So do not go back in the blush thinking, oh, I don't see it, I need more. No. Huge mistake. Just keep blending it into the skin and wait a little bit first. That would be my best advice because honestly, that first time when I used it, it was such a fail. Right, it started to develop. Now I will say, this is really fun. However, you will have to learn how to use it correctly. Definitely use less than you think. Do a couple of taps, blend, wait a little bit, and then go from there. I know it's kind of annoying because who has time to apply your blush, wait 2 minutes, then apply your blush again and wait 2 more minutes? It just seems like a little bit too much. But overall, I really like this formula. It gives this almost popsicle effect, but to your cheeks, really fun. And it gives this beautiful hydrated finish, but it's not heavy or greasy. It's not a traditional cream blush. Overall, I really enjoyed it. It's just taken me a couple of tries, you know, I had to learn how to use it correctly. Just gonna conceal a little bit with my Bare With Me concealer from NYX. I have this one in my project pan. Just a tiny bit around my eyes to conceal the darkness and a little bit around my mouth because this is where I have redness. Alright, before I go and set my face, I want to use one of these Seal Glow and Protect SPF 50 highlighters. So my dear friend Pao was so kind and she sent them my way. These are very interesting because these contains SPF 50 and I feel like that's amazing. And Seal makes products with SPF and they are sold at Sephora. Not really sure which shade I want to go with. Church is more like a light gold. We also have Piper, which is like a neutral shade. And we have Penny, but Penny will be definitely a little bit too deep for me. I think I'm gonna start with the shade Penny, and then if it's just too deep, we will add a little bit of Church on top. I will just go ahead and do a couple of, ooh, so creamy, couple of taps. And I will use the other side of my Makeup by Mario brush to blend it gently into the skin. Oh, I feel like we will not need that Church shade because this is so glowy and beautiful. Ooh. Oh, I love how easily that blended into the skin. I really enjoy this precise applicator. Oh wow. Just melts into the skin and gives this beautiful soft focus effect. And it contains SPF 50. Come on now. Okay. I really like these highlighters. Let me add a teeny bit on my nose and my upper lip. Okay, a little bit goes a long way. I feel like I've added a little bit too much on my nose, so I will take my sponge and try to soak up the product that I no longer need. Oh, so pretty. Love that they don't dry down too fast because sometimes liquid highlighters can be quite tricky to work with. Right, I'm just gonna set my face a little bit with the Cherry Blossom Cake from Huda Beauty. This one is in my May Shop My Stash. And I'll just gently set the center of my face. I will try not to get rid of all the dew just because I really like that glow we have going on. Ooh, I'm really loving the way my skin looks like right now. Of course, I look like I have makeup on my skin, but it still manages to look somewhat natural and it just looks so skin-like. Jen Ardell, that foundation, you might be onto something. Alright, I'm just gonna use a little bit of this brow pomade from Benefit to fill in my brows. I also have it in my Shop My Stash. I'm just trying to use it a little bit more since I'm such a brow powder girl. I've been trying to reach for this brow pomade a little bit more and so far I do like it. I will say that sometimes I can get easily carried away and go overboard. But overall it really works, it's easy. I tend to go a little bit heavier on the tail and try to stay as light as possible on the front of my brow. And this left brow is always harder for me to do. She's definitely more problematic. And listen, sometimes our brows don't even look like cousins, and that's okay too. Let's just pretend that this is the look that we were going for in the first place. I'm just gonna set my brows with this Fluff Up brow wax from Benefit. I usually brush them against the brows and then I kinda lay them down like that. Brows are done. Now let's move on to the eyes. Moira Beauty also sent over their Prism Pop pigments and these look so fun, and most of them are duochrome and they have so many beautiful shades. Oh my gosh, I'm overwhelmed because I can never decide which one to use. But first let me just add a little bit of mattes in my crease, and I'm gonna use the I Need a Warm palette from Natasha Denona, and I will use this ripe shade and place it in the outer corner and work it into the crease. I just want a little bit of structure, a little bit of something before we go in with our beautiful shimmers. A little bit on this eye too. Right, and when I'm happy with that, I want to use a couple of shades of these Prism Pop pigments. I'm not sure which one though. I think I'm gonna go with Bubbly Bliss, this pink to blue duochrome. This will be on the lid. Now let's pick something to go in the outer part of the lid. Maybe this one, Sugar Plum. I feel like that could be really cute. And maybe let's pick this Cuddle Cloud shade to put in our inner corner. I'm gonna squeeze a little bit on the back of my hand first, just like that. And then I'm gonna use this brush right here to pick up the product. Ooh, interesting. It's really creamy. It's not liquidy. You can pick it up literally on the brush. And then I'm just gonna start applying it to my lid. Ooh, that shift, obsessed. Right, and when I'm done applying it, I'm gonna grab this smaller brush and diffuse the edges just a tiny bit, just to make sure we don't have harsh lines going on. Wow, how freaking gorgeous is that shade? Oh wow, that blue to pink shift is so strong on this one. I'm gonna do the same exact thing to my other eye. Oh my gosh, the pigment is so gorgeous on this. Interesting, this side has completely dried down. Wow. Okay, so you actually have some time to work with this before they fully set, which I feel like is amazing. Oh wow, the formula is actually incredible on these. Damn, Moira. How do you manage to do it every single time? I love that we have these little protective caps so the product won't dry out. Right, now let me go ahead and add a little bit of Sugar Plum in the outer corner just for some dimension. Just because these are so fun and I want to play with them all. I'm gonna pick up the product on a slightly more flatter brush and place it gently in the outer V with gentle tapping motions, just to make sure we do not disturb everything underneath. And then I'm gonna grab that same brush and gently blend out the edges. Okay, I'm not really sure how it reads on camera. In real life, it added a little bit of definition, a little bit of depth. It's not really dark, so I'm not sure if you guys will be able to see it on camera. I will have to find out when I'm editing, but basically I'm gonna do the same thing for the other eye. Oh my gosh, these are so fun. I can't wait to play with this green shade. Come on now, mermaid vibes. And that's exactly why I love Moira. They make such an amazing products, really fun products at such amazing prices too. Right, I feel like I'm done with these two shades. Now I'm gonna use a tiny bit of these Cuddle Cloud shade. I will try my best not to over apply because it's just so bright and I'm not really into that super bright inner corner life anymore, so I'll try my best to be minimalistic with it, I guess. Oh wow, it's so bright. Come on now, just a tiny bit, not too much. All right, for my lower lash line, I will grab a smaller brush and I will use the shade Ripe again. Ooh, I really like the contrast we have going on between the warm tones and of course that shade that shifts blue. All right, next we have these Colorstay multi-liners from Revlon. These are really affordable and they are multi-liners. Basically, you can use them anywhere on your face. You can highlight with it, you can contour, you can make cute little freckles, you can use it as a lip liner. And I really enjoy that there's a brush on the other side, and these are gel pencils and they are sharpenable. Revlon sent me 4 shades. Oh, and by the way, I really enjoy that they divide them by undertone. We have warm, we have neutral, and we have cool tones. And I want to pick one shade to use as my eyeliner. We're not gonna use the shade High Point just because it's for highlighting. And we are not supposed to use Mischief Maker on our eyes. So out of them two, I'm gonna go with the shade 008 Catalyst. It's a beautiful neutral brown, so I'm just gonna try to do a little bit of tight lining with it and maybe do a little baby wing. Okay, the formula feels really creamy. I can definitely see how this would be amazing to use on the face too. Okay, so the tip here is not really sharp to even attempt a little wing, so I'm gonna grab this little liner brush and pick up the product on it. Then I'm gonna do a little itsy bitsy wing with it. Okay, yeah, that worked. I'm also gonna go over here where we applied the liner just to smooth out those edges. I'm really happy with how that came out. Hopefully it's long wearing as it claims, because so many eyeliners transfer to my upper hood just because I have such hooded eyes. But let me just go ahead and basically do the same thing on the other side. These are really creamy and glide on so easily. Right, and now time for a little baby wing. And I just know it will not look like this eye. It never does. But that's okay. That's okay. We are not trying to be perfect here. Okay, she's a little bit chunky, but it's okay. It's okay. I'm gonna curl my eyelashes because we have some new mascaras from Moira Beauty. We have Intense Volume and Length Mascara, and we have Maximum Volume and Lifted Mascara. These are only $7, and honestly, I'm looking at the pictures of their models, and both of their eyelashes look insanely beautiful. However, the Maximum Volume and Lifting Mascara looks a tiny more natural, dare I say, and I've just been reaching for more natural looking mascaras a little bit more these days, so let's go ahead and use this one. It has this natural bristles types of brush, like hourglass shape. It looks so wet, so I'm just gonna take out a little bit of the excess. I don't know, you guys, it still has so much product on, so hopefully it's not clumsy. It's definitely one of those really wet formulas. Alright, so this is what one coat of this mascara gives us. Alright, so this is what one coat of this mascara gives us. Honestly, I'm not really mad at it. It looks okay. It's not giving me a ton of volume, and judging by the name Maximum Volume, you would expect that. It gives a nice little curl to the lashes, but not much length, to be honest. Let me go ahead and apply it to my other eye. Alright, so far this is what we are looking like. It's not bad, but I wouldn't say that it's my new holy grail, you know. Let me try to build it up a little bit. Maybe that will help with volume. Let's just use the Intense Volume and Length Mascara on our lower lash line, just for shits and gigs. And again, so much product on the brush. Come on now. Oh my gosh, it just keeps going. Alright, I tried my best, but let's just apply it to our lower lash line. The brush on this one is a little bit different. It's more like your traditional mascara wand. And again, really wet formula on this one too. I feel like you will have to let these mascaras sit in your collection for a while and maybe dry down a little bit before you can actually use them and enjoy them. Right, and this is what my lashes look like with these two new mascaras from Moira. I completely forgot to mention that these are actually tubing mascaras, so you can remove them with warm water, super easy. Alright, let's move on to the lips, and I'm actually gonna use the Colorstay Multi Liner from Revlon just in the shade As Is. Hopefully it will work out. This is like a warm toned brown. I'm just gonna outline my lips with it, kind of like that. And now I'm gonna blend it out a tiny bit with the brush we have on the other side of the liner. It definitely works, but I will just go ahead and use my finger instead. Interesting, these definitely set down, so you have some time to play with them, but once they set, they are not moving, they're not blending, so you have to be fast with it. Okay, and finally we are throwing on this Gloss Bomb from Glow Recipe. They just launched this. I have shade Watermelon Bingsu, and I actually had no idea what Bingsu is. I never tried it. It turns out it's a Korean shaved ice. That sounds amazing, and next time I'm eating Korean food, I'm getting Bingsu. But this is what the product looks like. Let's try it on. I definitely applied too much. This is so beautiful. This feels so hydrating on. Interesting, it tastes sweet. They added something sweet to this one. And yes, of course, it has that Glow Recipe watermelon scent we all know. The color is pretty sheer. I feel like you don't get a ton of pigment with this one. It's more like a lip gloss / lip treatment kind of thing. This is one of those thinner formulas. If you like your lip balms and lip treatments really plush and hydrating and a little bit on the thicker side, but in the good way, I feel like this might be a little bit disappointing for you because this is really thin, but it has zero stickiness. You almost cannot feel it on the lips. Overall, it's really cute, but also it's a little bit basic. I don't know, the packaging is okay, I guess. I feel like we could have done a little bit more. We all expect a little bit more from Glow Recipe, so for them to come out with this basic ass packaging, I'm not really feeling it, to be honest. It's not really blowing my mind. I'm not hating on it either. It's okay. Alright, and that wraps up today's Get Ready With Me, and this is the final look that we have created. What a fun little mix of products. I mean, we have tried a lot today, and especially with complexion products, sometimes you don't know how that's gonna go. But here are the ones that seriously stole my heart. This sunscreen from Anua, instant favorite. So lightweight, zero white cast, no peeling. I'm obsessed. Skin Tuition foundation from Jen Iredale. Perfect match, easy blend. This is going in my top drawer. Seal highlighters. Literally flawless glow. And then of course Moira's products. They are Stay Golden Cream Bronzer and Contour. So creamy, so blendable, and only $10. And of course Prism Pop Pigments from Moira. I've been wearing mine for about 30 minutes now. Zero creasing. So yeah, the formula is amazing and there are so many fun shades to choose from. I cannot wait to play with them. Let me know if there's anything that made your wish list, if there's anything you're curious about, or something that have completely flopped for you. But thank you so much for hanging out with me. I had so much fun getting ready with you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. I would love to have you here. I love you guys also so much, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!